Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm starting to do things a bit differently. My friend Addison made me an intro and outro. You've seen the intro, you're gonna see the outro hopefully. Yes, the cuts are a bit rough. I don't know how to do that, a proper faded transition into the video, but we will get there when we get there. But anyway, today we are taking a look at the Studio Series 86 Autobot Hot Rod from Transformers the movie. And I've got to say, I love this guy. I've got my hands on one already from someone else, but now I've got my own and I'm excited to do a video on him. So anyway, taking a look at the box, it's a lot more uniform than the Kingdom packaging that we've seen so far. In fact, I'll pull out Dinobots real quick since he's the only other thing I've got. Since these are Voyager boxes, these are the same size when it comes to these dimensions, but Dinobots is technically shorter or smaller because he does have that slant. But yeah, anyway, getting back to this guy. From the front, you can see the figure in robot mode and a couple of his accessories here and there. We've got a nice render of the Autobot Hot Rod. I like that render for the logo of Transformers the movie. It says Transformers and Generations. It says Takara up here and Hasbro up there. And yeah, that's really all for the front. The top, we've got a nice window so light can come in. The same Transformers the movie logo up top. To the left of the box, we've got blue with 8604, signifying that this is the fourth figure in the Transformers 86 Studio Series line. It says Studio Series with the render of Hot Rod up close, saying Voyager class in a bunch of languages. Then on the other side we have a cutout for the 86 with a much more shown render of Hot Rod, and down here it says Transformers Authentic. Then back here we've got a couple renders of Hot Rod with a lot of his stuff and not much more at the bottom. So I'm gonna pause the video, get everything out, get him transformed, and I'll see you guys in a nanosecond. Alrighty, here we've got Hot Rod transformed with everything he comes with. I'm gonna start off with this little backdrop thing. I'm not sure if anybody really uses them, but Hasbro considers them a part of the thing, so I'll quickly gloss over it. I'll bring Hot Rod and all his stuff to the side. So the background is supposed to be inside of Unicron. It's supposed to be that moment when Hot Rod and Galvatron do that quick scuffle, then Hot Rod opens the Matrix, becoming Rodimus Prime. Now, since I haven't done a Studio Series figure, I might as well go a little more in-depth at the sides. It's got, you know, regular old Studio Series stuff with a lot of red. Then we've got the backdrop, which is supposed to be a specific thing. You know, a lot of the movie figures kind of had repeat backdrops, but I'm pretty sure that, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the Studio Series 86 figures all have unique backdrops. And up here in the corner, it says Generations. There's nothing else at the back, so I'll bring that to the side, and I'll quickly go over his accessories by themselves. Starting off with the saw blade, which appears to be in motion. It does spin, kind of like a cookie cutter. Next, we've got these two blast effects, which look nice. You know, I'll go over these a little later with him in vehicle mode and in robot mode. Next up, we've got his two guns, which are based off of his toy guns, because I'm pretty sure in the movie and cartoon, his guns were different, but it doesn't matter. I can't remember his guns off the top of my head, but I do like how these look. And lastly, probably the accessory that everyone is probably going to pose this figure with, but I personally am not, is the Matrix of Leadership with the glow of the Matrix when Hot Rod is opening it. We'll definitely go over this a little more in robot mode. And lastly, most importantly, we've got the toy itself. Now, I've got to say, I love him in vehicle mode. I almost want to get a second Hot Rod just so I can have him in both modes. This thing looks amazing. You know, I'd argue it might even look better than the Masterpiece. The only place it doesn't look as good as the Masterpiece is in the back because there's a little bit of robot kibble. But it's not too bad, I'd say. You know, it looks like it's car mode. I'm not sure if you'd say that's a little too red for him, but I feel it's a good hot rod color. And the best part is, even though it's low as hell, it rolls real good. It may not roll the best because my backdrop is cloth, but it rolls. And the only thing that people would probably complain about is the kibble at the bottom, but this is a vehicle transformer. There's always going to be kibble at the bottom. Now, anyway, going over what his accessories can do in vehicle mode, we'll bring out these little blue blast effects, and we can use these back here on his exhaust pipes to make it look like his exhaust pipes are going at it, going to town, making it look like he's going super fast. Woo! Now, anyway, I'll take these off real quick, put them to the side, and bring back his guns. His guns can go in 2 spots, or I guess 4, because you've got 2 slots here at the engine and 2 slots back here, so you can, I'll just put one in each spot, so you can have one here, and this gun is a pain in the butt to get in, and one up here. If you've got them both, you're supposed to be able to put the saw on top of them, that way you've got all his weapons in one spot, which I do like storage, but last time I tried that, I felt like I was gonna put stress marks in his saw, so I decided to stop that. But yeah, that's all his accessory integration in vehicle mode. So yeah, that's his vehicle mode. You know, I think it looks good. A lot of other people, I believe, think it looks good. So anyway, let's get on with the transformation. And because I'm not a professional at this, I don't think this is going to be pretty, but we are going to try. Now, I'm going to start off by trying to get his spoiler up. Then I'm going to unlock his legs from the hands or arms. Unclip this so that I can straighten out his leg. Fold out his foot. Bolt this thing in. And there we've got a leg. Same thing for the other side. Where are we at? Come on. You're still connected. Pop you open. Flip you out. Flip out your foot. Close that thing in. And close it up. Now we've got weird old standing robot thing. And anyway, we'll leave that out for now. We'll go ahead and flip these 2 things. That way he's got hands. Let's open up the front. This is where things are probably going to get a little weird. We're going to lift all this up. Let's try that. Flip these in. Flip the robot head out. Spin it. I just had mine backwards. Take this. I'm doing something wrong, aren't I? Alright. Pull these out, fold these down, spin the legs, and do that, which I'm surprised I managed to get that. And here he is in robot mode. And I've got to say, this guy, he looks beautiful in robot mode, in my personal opinion. He looks like Hot Rod to me. He looks like what I want Hot Rod to look like. He is that perfect size for Hot Rod. This is personally my ideal Hot Rod, if you couldn't already tell from everything else I've said in the video. You know, he looks great. I think the biggest problem that a lot of people might have are the color of his joints on his legs and the red at the back of the legs, but that's not too big of a deal for me, so I'm A-okay with him, because that does not detract from the figure too much for me. So yeah, I'm not sure what I should start off with first from him. I guess I could start off with gimmicks and accessories, or I guess features. So starting off with his head, you can pop that open and flip out his glasses, which look like his glasses. I guess for the time being, I'll keep them on. I might take them off or put them back in later. This arm you can flip out for this thing for when he is fixing up cup, and this arm you can flip around, and you can attach the saw. Come on, there we go. Which, it's been a little while since I've seen the movie, so I forget if these are what he used to fix up the cup or not, but I do not have a cup, so I cannot show that off real quick, so let me get him back to normal with his fists. Uno and dos. You know, he can hold both his guns in his hands, which he does have moving fingers, similar to Earthrise Optimus. I'm not sure if anyone else does that. Sorry if he's coming off to the side a bit. I'm having a little trouble looking at the camera as it's a lot lower than I usually have it. So yeah. And where did I set his blast effects? Hold on, guys. I'm going to pause for a second because I just lost his blast effects. Alright, that didn't take too long. It was just hidden under a little thing of cloth, but yeah. So these, you can kind of put them on the guns like that, so it looks like they're firing. Or you can come down here and put them on his exhaust ports, which I believe is where the instructions recommend you put them. But I tend to not use them just because with how I have my displays, I really don't have my guys in too much of an eccentric pose. If I had more room, then maybe I would. But yeah, anyway, for this last thing, for accessories, I'll fold up his goggles and open up his hands. Bring his arms forward, which is something you can do with this guy, which I will go over in articulation. Let's get this matrix. Let's put it in his hands, which surprisingly you can do. And have him lighting our darkest hour. I might pause the video again and raise the camera so you can see that a little better. And yeah, here is Hotrod lighting our darkest hour. Now I'm going to take his matrix away, get him back into a standing pose, and now it is time to go over the articulation, which for a standard release, it's pretty much amazing articulation, which I shouldn't be surprised at this point. All modern Transformers nowadays for collectors tend to have amazing articulation. Anyway, starting off at the head, he's got a ball joint at the head, so he can get a little bit of tiltage, but you can go 360. He looks up that far, he looks down that far. His arms are a little weird, but I can manage. They go up that far, down that far. They can kind of get 360. You just got to move his elbow out of the way. He's got more over 90 at the elbow, which is nice, and he's got a swivel there. Swivel at the wrist, and like I previously mentioned, moving fingers. He doesn't have a bend at the waist, but he does have a swivel. His legs move forward that far, back that far, and he's got a beautiful spread. He's got a swivel at the thigh. Double jointed knees, which is nice, but a little difficult to execute. And based on how the knees are, you can get a kind of broken knee, but you can kind of get them angled right to get that heroic pose. And he's got forward and backwards pivot at the foot and an ankle rocker to the side, which is okay. And yeah, that is, if I'm correct, all his articulation, which I believe is amazing. It lets me get everything pose I want out of him. I love it. Anyways, now for some size comparisons, which I'm probably going to have to lower the camera again for this, just so you can see everything. So I'll start off with the little spike that comes with the buzzworthy Bumblebee from the War for Cybertron trilogy, which for the time being I'm going to use as Daniel just because it fits pretty well. And then the other comparison, I'm going to use Earthrise Optimus, which he is taller, but not as crazy of a height difference as the Masterpiece. this I feel works so much better. So anyway, I'm gonna get these guys away and give my final thoughts on this guy. I will say this man is incredible. A masterpiece in his own right, even though he's not in the masterpiece line. He does have some extra detailing up on him because modern Transformers tend to have that extra detail stuff, panel lines and stuff, but he looks great. I'd even say he almost looks perfect. Now he's got that face. He's got everything that makes Hotrod. And I'd say, even though he is probably a little small for a Voyager, he does come with a lot of stuff and has a nice complex transformation. So I feel that fills everything out. I'd say if you can find this guy and you like Transformers the movie, which if you're a Transformers fan, you should like it. It's kind of the law. But yeah, anyway. I believe I found this guy at Target. I'm not sure if anybody's found him at Walmart yet, but he is hitting retail right now when this video is uploaded. So if you want him, go ahead and get him. And anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.